project I'm doing with my alcohol markers, to which I have this container full of them, and they're beautifully arranged. And the other day I made now alcohol markers are not light fast. You don't want to leave them out in the sun, but they're good to draw in your journal. They are good to draw if you are going to make prints of your artwork, then it's totally fine. But you don't want to draw them as artwork for the wall and have them in a bright place because they will fade. Water-based markers will too. I find alcohol markers so rich with the way they saturate the paper, and you got to use the right paper, marker paper, smooth Bristol. But I love them so much, and I have been testing throughout the past few years which outliners I like. Faber-Castell 1.5 millimeter, and I love my graphic one. I love it, by Sakura. I love these two. These are my favorite. And I tested and I tested and I tested which ones work with my water-based markers. I tested which ones work with my alcohol markers, and I have landed on creating a lot of art with these alcohol markers. They're just so rich. So I'm going to be watching videos on how to make a pitch for animation. I have been only interested in the doobies lately, and because I need to use my markers, and because alcohol markers are notorious for the color of the caps not matching what's on the inside, then you need to swatch them. So the other day, I just grabbed markers and I swatched, and then I realized that I did not have enough yellows, pale yellow, bright yellow. I didn't have enough oranges, and so I went and I got a few new Copic markers at Blick. I walked there. It was a fun 20-minute walk, and I got colors that I am missing. And you have to get colors. I just recommend you go and just pick your favorite colors that you like to use. These tend to be expensive. They were on sale from like $8 to $6, and I use them all the time. The cool thing about these is that they are refillable. So the other day I was refilling some of mine are like 15 years old, maybe longer, maybe 20, I don't know. And you can save them, you can replace the nib, you can, they're just great. I love them. Not everybody likes alcohol markers. Water-based markers are fine. I just like the idea of being able to refill them. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to do this a little more methodically. I need to get some air in here. We need air. It is hot. Hot. And, I don't know if this is the best view, and I don't even know if this is what I should be doing right now because I have other things to do. While it's light out, I want to paint some backgrounds of canvases so I can do, this is the kind of work I can do at night. This is the stuff I do during the day, but I am moved to organize my markers, and it sounds like fun, and I get to hang with you guys for a little bit just to start me off. I don't think you're gonna wanna be here for the whole process because it's gonna be a lot. So I'm using Bristol paper. Let me get it. But at least when I did this page, I started doing the blues, and I'm like, oh, I thought I had more blues. And then after I went all the way here, I realized I did have more blues. So today all the blues get to be together. It's gonna be fun. So I'm using vellum Bristol. And let's make sure I don't have any markers anywhere else. I don't. They're all in this cabinet here, which is made by Meaden. Meaden makes those cabinets. They're great little shallow drawers to keep markers in. I no longer keep them up in, I think the nibs get dried out when you leave them standing up. The ink dries. So I like to leave them on their side. And let's pull out the reds. Let's just do the reds together. This is not the best lighting. Let's do it this way. Let's go here. I'm not accustomed to filming here, but we're gonna get in the flow of being together in the studio. That was a rhyme. I love when I rhyme on camera. My flowers need to be replaced. Okay, so yeah, you can't see. You can't see what I'm doing. I need to get a tripod that tilts down. This one does not. Shoot. It's gonna take a sec. Hold on, you guys. Sorry. Close your eyes. There we go. That's gonna have to be good. It's sinking down. Don't sink down. Why are you sinking? This mechanism's broken and it's sinking. Okay, that's good enough. That works for us, yeah? Who's here? Oh, the sound. I must have done something. Nope, wrong way. Okay, that was a little bit of a show. Okay, let's get the reds. Let's do the reds. We're gonna go like the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. Then we're gonna do pinky hot pinks. I have a lot of fluorescent colors. So I'm gonna line these up starting with the bluest red since we're going into orange. And I can test them and see. I'm gonna test pad to see who's the bluest of all. I have some, it's interesting that I just pulled these out actually. This is Copic, the original. And this is one shape. This is the Copic Sketch. These are bigger and hold more ink. I like the Copic Sketch because they're small to travel around with. And these are the less expensive ones only because they're called Chow, the Copic Chow. Copic, doesn't matter. These don't have the numbers on the edge, so if you have them lying down, you can't see the number, but these are less expensive and perfectly fine. It's all the same ink, it's all the same colors, so that's good. The numbers are interesting. It's a coded system for Copic. I say Copic. So R means red, and then this is number 35. The first number has to do with how much gray is in it, and the second number is the intensity of the color. So that's how you can tell what's up. R37, R35. R29. It goes like that, R24. So we're doing reds. And then when it starts getting into orange, it's called YR for yellow red. It goes like that. So fun. It's so nice to have it organized. That way when you go to do a piece of art, if you're just art journaling, like I have an art journal life tool, I highly recommend it. This is a little extra to do, but there's something nice about knowing what color and which one to grab so that when you go to do it on your artwork, it's not, it doesn't mess you up. Now I have some Tombow that are included in my collection, so I just kind of guess where that color lands. It's a different color system. This one's redder. Goes there. And we'll do the reds together, and then I'll carry on. Now we get to go to the red. Here's a red. Now we go yellow red. Yellow red 07. I have some fluorescent colors, which are so beautiful. Yellow red 68. I'm gonna leave, what if I leave the fluorescents to the side? Do I do all the fluorescent? No, I'm gonna put them in. Ooh, I have two YR 04s. That's not surprising. I know what colors I like. How's everybody doing? Is anybody leaving comments? YR 16. YR 14, and that's caramel. That's very confusing. Really, that YR 16 and YR 14 are so very different. Very weird, but it's going in. It actually shows up redder than it does on the cap. That's why we're doing this. Okay. Put the fluorescence at the end. And this peachy color goes at the end. I have a new orange, YR07, goes right here. I think that's pretty good. Then I do a little swatch, and then underneath, you're confused what I'm drawing? I'm making a color swatch for my Copic or my alcohol markers. And so we're just hanging in the studio together. And I believe that organization leads to creativity, especially in this department, because you can just go, oh, I want to use these colors, and you have a handful of 6. When you're doing artwork, 6 colors is plenty to keep cohesiveness. It's just nice to do. Or you can go crazy, but I have a lot of markers that I've collected over probably, it could be 30 years. Like these are ancient. I have to think about if I got some of these before Jada was born. She's 24. So here we go. I have to get a new tripod. No, my tripod's in Sedona. I don't need to get a new tripod. Make sure I have all my red markers so one doesn't get, aha. I had some reds in the pink drawer. Kind of, yeah, you gotta check that, because then you have a random lost red. But if you do your whole swatch board and then you end up, oh no. The cap, oh here it is, okay. So this is why RV, red violet, that's why it's in that drawer, because it's like a hot pink. Red violets do not belong with the yellow, the red, YRs. I know what I did. Okay, we're ready. Are we ready? You guys can't really see. Let's move over here. So we're just getting organized, and it feels really good when you do this. And after each one, I write down R37. I'll put it in the drawer. Let me see. I have to get it better. I can get my tripod to look over. I could be doing it on my Canva light, but I am not. And you can make it darker on the left. If you double layer it, it shows how the color looks dark. That's kind of nice to do. We're just hanging out. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. What's your favorite color and what's your least favorite color? I don't use a lot of purple, but I do use lilac and lavender. I did buy a purple today. I love pinks, I love bright greens. I'm gonna do R27. It really looks so nice too to have this hanging up in your space. How's everybody doing? I've only had a smoothie and a matcha today. I think it might not be a bad idea to make a beautiful salad when I go upstairs. That's funny, this should have been before the other one, but it's okay. I can't be playing music, but I will what I do when I do things like this is I watch something interesting to me on YouTube, so I'm learning, or I'm hanging out with another artist, listening to them talk. There's always inspiration to be had. I was thinking that a lot of people won't take the time to do this, and I understand. What is this? R17. It's Very close. I've seen that the colors changed in the past, however many years I've had this, the formulas have changed because I went to swatch markers against old ones and they were different. Sometimes you just need to freshen your batch. You need to have like fresh spices, fresh colors, fresh ink. We're knocking through the reds. We just did all the reds together. Now we're up to the orange. This is a gorgeous orange. YR07. I saw somebody left a comment. I find that the chow, you know what? I got these, I remember where I got these chow ones. I was in Sweden. No, sorry, I was in Lisbon. And I remember walking into an art store saying, oh, I just want markers. And that's when I started coloring and drawing again from these. So your art supplies can inspire you to create. I highly recommend the Tombow markers, the water soluble ones. They're beautiful. They blend with water, so if you want to watercolor them, you can do so, and it'll spread it out on the page. Alcohol will not do that, but for the artwork I'm doing, this is appropriate. I was at Blick Art Store, and this young man named Tim was helping me. I mean, he uses alcohol markers in his art, so I got really lucky. And I was sitting on the floor and we were testing markers and I'm like, I need bright. And I showed him my artwork and he was like, you do need bright. And he was like helping me find the colors that were missing. This is, by the way, this is art to me. Like, I will hang this up. I love this. I might collage doobies on it. Like, this is even more beautiful to me with all the marks on it because it reminds me how much fun I had when I was at Blick and I got lost in the colors. I just got lost in the experience of talking to another artist about colors and which is best. And I asked him, I want to draw the doobies big on canvases, so I got an 8mm bullet point, and he pulled out of his pocket an 8mm paint marker where he mixed it himself. And I was like, I need one. He's like, I bought all of them, but go to this website. And he told me where this graffiti website where I can buy and mix my own paints. It's hard to find light blues that I like and paint markers. So you can mix your own, put it in the vessel and have your own paint marker. But this is I'm gonna do some fat, big fat doobies with that. I'm getting geared up. The way I think about it is that as long as you're in it, you're in it. As long as you have your hands in materials, whether you're swatching or you're messing around or you're doing something more intentional, you're in it. And if you, what did I do? I have two of the same color and they look completely different. Wow. One looks more pumpkin-y than the other. I do have an eye for color. It's a gift that I have. Like, you can't mess around. Like, I know when something's right or not. I went to get my toenail. I went to get a pedicure and I said, I want this color. And they were putting the color on and I was like, that's not the color. And they were like, oh yeah. I was like, no, that's not the color. Like, I knew in a second. You can't mess with me on color. I have a kind of gift where if you show me a color, I can mix it. I can almost mix it with my back turned. It's a weird gift, but I have it. And not with color theory or anything like that. It has nothing to do with nothing other than I just know how to do it. All right, this camel color is an odd one, and it is called Caramel, YR14. So it was a really pleasant experience at the Blick Art Supply Store. They're running a big sale on canvases if anybody needs them, like a huge sale. Very exciting. So I have a number of canvases ready to go. Well, I said we'd hang out in the studio, and here we are. Because I'm busy, I can't see what you guys are saying, if anything, but I'm gonna look in a sec. I'm almost done with the reds and oranges, and we kept me company. So we're not gonna do the whole thing. This fluorescent, I'm gonna show you guys when there's a way to film this where you're just seeing the artwork, which I can do. When I start, I'm gonna start doing, showing what I'm up to. Not all fluorescent markers are created equal. Not all markers, not all, it's amazing what, I love fluorescents to give a pop. Makes me very happy. Okay, we did it. Isn't that so satisfying? And it didn't take that long. Really. I don't use a lot of reds, but I have a lot of reds. So how's everybody doing before I hang up? Oops. I don't see any comments. Why? I saw Gary commented. Well, they're not showing up. Oh, there they are. Hey, Kat. Hey, Gary. Carla. Ready, set, drawer. I'm drawing. So this just makes me really happy. When I finished the other day, I was like, oh, so that's what this is gonna look like, this, but better. So I don't feel I need to swatch these grays. I obviously don't use a lot of gray, although something makes me want to use them. Maybe as background for the doobie, maybe there's like a moody, cloudy, I need them because if I do cloudy, I'm gonna start doing stories and things. So you might need gray, moody sky, or I don't know, concrete. So I'm not gonna get rid of them. They're just, don't have to be in my face all the time. Now, that's, we did. Here we go. I'm trying, it's very hard to find a very, very bright green in alcohol markers. So I did find some that pleased me from Winsor Newton Pro Marker. These are new to me, so that's fun. Does anybody have any questions? Like the markers that I recommend, any markers really, like cheap ones you find online. These are the Tombow. It's a bow. Love. These stay up in my kitchen. I do water-based upstairs and alcohol down here. I'll show you. Sometimes I do clay. Sometimes I do little tiles. These are clay board, and I've never saw anything so cute in my life. Yes, thank you, Peace Train. And Pathfinder told me, Kat told me, it was Wendy Darling, it was from Peter Pan, yeah? And thank you. I couldn't think about it. I was like, where did that come from? It was Peter Pan, Wendy Darling, and what was the little boy's name? Peter Darling? No, that's Peter Pan. What was her brother's name? So next we have to line up with some water. I should be making a salad. But sometimes I get so excited by color, like you don't even know. My pink drawer is my favorite. Oh, I see what's going on here. I'm gonna have to organize. This is P873, so I have two of these. When I have doubles, I take them on the road with me, or I just leave them out and use them. Now what? Ooh, YR24. I found a YR23. See? Okay. Red, orange. Yep. Beautiful. I already organized the markers. They were all a mess and all over, and I organized them pretty tightly. YR24. So exciting. YR23. And you can refill them. And my friend Tim, my new friend Tim, said that he was like, just add some isopropyl alcohol to kind of get the tip moist, and to kind of like when you add acetone to nail polish to loosen it up a bit. You can do that with the alcohol markers. Why are these over here? Oh, because they're magenta-y. Okay. So let's see. I know this is not that exciting, but oh, you like seeing me in my art studio. Okay, then it is exciting. I was like, I'm just sitting here. But when I color, would you guys like to see the, this is nice and pretty. You can see the studio, but like maybe you'd want to see what I'm actually drawing. There's my drawers. There's my paints. I have a nice little setup. It's simple and lovely. Oh, what's this color? YR23. So we did it. Could have used the fatter marker. That would have looked good, but that's okay. 1.5 millimeter versus 1 makes a big difference. Fat ones on the end. So it's a little wonky, but it's good. Is it inspiring to watch me create? Thank you. It feels so good. It's just all I'm doing is swatching right now, but I've been drawing and drawing every day, and it feels so good, truly. Just color, just put blobs of color on. Put blobs of your favorite color on a piece of paper and write some words. Like you could do something like this and then put a word under each one. Like a word, obviously you might not have this many colors, but like you can repeat and then you can write words with it, and it's just very satisfying. So I guess what's up next is the yellow. So I'll go from the orangiest yellow to the lightest lemon yellow. Fluorescent yellow. This one's like, whew. I don't have a lot of yellows, but now I added some to my collection, so we'll see what happens. Line them up in order of warmest to coolest, warming being red in it, coolest being almost green in it, to a yellow green actually. And that's what's going to be at the end of this spectrum, because then it's leading into green. Red, orange, yellow, green, that's the rainbow. So that's what I'm up to. Darkest to lightest, yellow, red in the beginning. I found a yellow, red. You go here. It's like a butterscotch color. And That's warm. It's a warm one. Darkest to lightest, warm to cool. Fluorescent one at the beginning. 2 Y08s. I doubled. Oh, I know why I did that, because they looked very different. My old one does not look like the new one. Let's test it. Similar enough. So that one goes away. Y06, no green, Y21. I'm gonna have to make a search to make sure there's no missing yellows, because I don't think there are, because I don't do a lot. Oh, Y38, that goes here. All right, it's going well. It's going well. It's going really well, you guys. We're hanging. Normally I light a candle, I play music, or listen to something. Let's see if there's any yellows in here. I don't think so. What does E stand for? Edward. Egg. Elope. Extra. Exciting. E are all the tan skin colors, so I don't really get that, why it's E. I should look that up. All right, that's it. I think I'm gonna actually go and make some food soon. If so, I will take you with me if you want me to. Let me see. What have you found to be the best lighting? That's great. In Sedona, I moved into a workshop that used to be a woodworking shop. And so we had fluorescent lights all over the ceiling. And I used the light fixtures, but I changed the bulbs. I changed the light fixtures actually, but what you want, and I did some research on this, is you want about 4,000 to 6,000 K. I don't remember exactly what that stands for. It's for the warmth. And I'm looking for, so you can get regular fluorescent lights for the ceiling and change the bulbs to be 4,000 to 6,000 K. I think I want 5,000. And that it mimics daylight. And then there was another number that it's supposed to be 95. That's all I know. So I already have lights, and when I turn on the lights in Sedona in the studio, it's like, whoa, you don't know what time of day. It's just really, really bright. I need to go to Home Depot and get lights and decide where I want them. So for the time being, I'm really not, the only place I'm working at night is here, and this light is sufficient. But if I want to do paintings, I can't do them at night. I won't have good color correction. And so if your light is too, let's say you have LED light and it's cool, you'll overcompensate and your paintings will not be color correct for you during daylight. You might make them too warm. Let me think about this. If the light's too warm, the next day you might look at your painting and it might look too cool. So you want, for me, I would want something that's close to daylight. Is it the end of the world for me? I'm not doing landscapes or portraiture. I'm painting like fluorescent doobies. So I don't think it really matters so much. But if I'm doing big abstracts, this is like very hot. I can do this in the dark. Actually, some of my markers are glow in the dark. So I'm going for it. I'm going for bright, for happy, for like wild. That's what I'm in the mood for. Yeah, so you just want to mimic daylight, and artists do use fluorescent lighting. Halogen lighting, I have halogen lighting here. It's not pointing anywhere that makes sense. So I wasn't painting in here, I was doing jewelry, and I had them strategically placed over my benches. And halogen light's the best. Halogen gets hot. Halogen's more expensive to burn, I imagine, than fluorescent. But I do need some fluorescent in here. So I will keep you posted when I figure that out. But Home Depot will have the fixtures, and then you can go online. If they don't have the 4,000 to 5,000 K bulbs, you can go online. So I will tell you of my journey with that. But for now, there's plenty to do at my desk with drawing with markers. And even the smaller canvases, I can paint here on my, can you see it? I have a little easel over here. Let's see, I don't think you can see it. I'm just not doing the big paintings at night. This is where I sit. I roll my chair over here. And I have this. This is really important because you don't want to hurt your neck. Oh, that's funny. I was like, what's making noise? I put my maracas. I need new flowers. And that's what's happening, lovies. It's really joyful in here. I got this beautiful little yellow table. It's an antique or vintage kitchen table on wheels, and the leaves go down and it can go anywhere. I can paint, I put something on it, and then I'm using my old dehydrator sheet, and this could go on it, and then I could paint, or I could use it as a nice side table, which I love usually to have my side table to the right because I'm a righty, and then my markers are to the right, so that may move. In order to organize a space, you just have to live in it. You have to see what works. You just need to just sit in a space and say, And sometimes just working in a space, if it's not perfect, you're gonna get ideas of things you need that you can find at thrift stores. You can find a table. Like I found one of my tables that I'm using to paint outside my front of my house. So it doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be functional and not terribly ugly. So I think that organization really, really helps with creativity. And you know, the guy that I was talking to, he has a swatch board much like this, but he keeps all his markers in a toolbox and just rummages through for the color he needs. So it's really who you are and how you like things, and what you have space for. But do not do it. Do it anyway, even if you don't have a big studio. You can sit, you know, you can have a handful of markers and a pad of paper and sit in front of the TV. You can sit at the kitchen counter or the table. You can sit on a bench or a little chair. Like, make yourself comfortable, but above everything, don't wait for the perfect space to do it. So I have a lot of other things I could be doing right now, but I need to do this for my peace, for my soul. I'm gonna see you guys soon. Get your greens on and get your coloring on.